What up, guys? What up, guys? Got on Mike Will made it. I like this beat. Aries, you go. Um, so hope you guys had a good day today. Sorry the broadcast is kind of late, but hopefully you can pick up wherever you left off. I want today to go over first. I'm gonna try to grab a victim. If I can grab one, hold on. Let me see. He's actually already been on camera before. Say hey, Jake. Jake the Snake, aka Jake the Cat. But that's one of the victims right there. All right, here's one more. I think I can grab. Oh, man. Oh, oh. And sorry to turn them into victims again because that's what's gonna happen. That's what just happened. All right, that's over with. All right, there's one other victim, but I don't know. I'm not sure where she is. But these poor little cats were really scared whenever these clowns came stomping through illegally. Um, so I just want to basically throw that in there, and we'll pause that. So, can sense. I want to explain this. I don't think that people really understand fully what this is, but you can see that whenever you go here, it welcomes you. It tells you their commitment, um, and it gets into indigent needs. Even I mean, I haven't even tried a lot of this stuff, but there is health insurance, from what I understand. You got a legal defense, veterans needs. So and you got any questions, please call. So these guys are very professional. This is revolutionizing everything. Everything is making politicians get in a frenzy right now trying to regulate, especially in Florida. It's so stupid. They keep trying to come up with stuff, and they passed this amendment to allow this, and then there's these stipulations, and they're continually trying to put things in and out of these stipulations. So it's really ridiculous. So you don't it doesn't matter. I mean, you're not going to benefit. The states that don't go along with this are not going to benefit. So just know that. So I know we're off topic a little bit, but this is something that does actually come into play, because these people cannot mess with you. When they see something like this, they're going to run from you. You pull out your card, you got your license. They're not going to. They better not mess with you, because as soon as they do, then we have this right here. Okay, and that's all across the United States. See, we're done playing games with you people. All right, so I wanted to just bring this up. You might ask, how much is my false arrest worth? And it's based on all of the cases, is how you can predict and present to the jury. And what I am going to do, and I'll go ahead and tell you what my plan is. It's not a secret. Well, it kind of is a secret in the sense that if you add up all that's wrong with my cases, there's a whole bunch. So it lists a lot of different things. But what I'm trying to say is that I'm going to try to base my case on 50 states. If I can get 50 states that have settled, or if not more, I'll just basically try to get an average or a mean. And they all have access to this. Like I was telling you guys before, lawyers have access to these cases because and you can get this if you're a student, you can get access to this stuff. If you're an inmate, you get access to this stuff, obviously, like I was, and I did request a lot of this stuff. So I've already got some of this stuff, but it's not going to have as many cases as and the awards and so forth. And a lot of the settlements are not open to the public. that I know about. So you just see this, and a lot of times you'll see these pages. They're advertising this stuff, and they say malicious prosecution and all this stuff. But a lot of what they're focusing on are these big time cases where it seems like you see these department stores are arresting people for stealing stuff or holding them hostage or whatever for accusing them of doing stuff. And I can't really tell you about this because I was like a minor and I was with a minor, and there was a situation when see I'm always with somebody in situations to where it's like I just want to explain this. When you look at my background, federal or law enforcement, if you're watching this or anybody who looks my name up, you have access to this information. You will see that there are always incidents that involve other people. Most of the time, if you don't see it and you just see myself, then there was somebody's place that I just came from. So, I mean, it's always like, it's not just me, just, oh, well, I'm out by myself. I'm going to wreak havoc on the town tonight. I'm going to go out and I am going to do something wrong and I am going to commit crimes and I am going to hurt people and steal things and, and try to basically be a menace to society. So, that's it's just insane, the sentiment there. But we see that these department stores hold people back, and I just wanted to say about the situation I just brought up earlier about being a minor is that it involved a department store, or the story that I know about, basically, um, that happened in Valdosta, and ironically, I don't trust anything. I just there's so many things, so many ways that you can get hemmed up, quote unquote, in situations, and this is one of them. So you got the law enforcement that can arrest you. Then you've got people that can arrest you inside of department stores, and then you arrest and then you sue them. And these are see what's so crazy about this is these department stores in these cases pay out more money than somebody who has their entire life screwed. And you'll see the difference in the amounts of money that the people get paid. So, see, you can figure out, and it'll tell you. See, look, $2,381 per hour is what you would get in compensation, what you're due, according to Roundtree versus the city of New York. So I hope you guys can kind of understand that. I have a tendency, and I really apologize. Please help me in the chat or anything. If you guys see something wrong, I have a tendency to speak as if you guys understand everything that I'm talking about. And I apologize for that because I really want this to be more educational. I don't realize basically is what's going on is teaching because I had to teach myself first. I had to read all this stuff myself first to figure out all this stuff to look up these. See, like, look at this 703 N dot Y. I wrote all this stuff down. I've got all of these cases that apply to basically my case already to just to defeat the case. But then whenever you're talking about the malicious prosecution, that is where you can get into the different cases. So this is you'll see department stores. So what I am wanting to do is to take 50 states and tell the jury, say, look, now based on the mean incomes and all of the issues associated with each case and the average amount of population, I guess you can say we can basically boil it down to population. You know, so we'll do a proportionate formula and figure out in the United States what is my case worth. There are scholarly articles that are probably available that are possibly um, let's just do false imprisonment. Uh, I'm sorry, wrongful. Um, and sometimes there are scholarly articles that you can look up. I'm trying to figure out how did I do that. So these are books, but Maybe I need to type in law because it usually says scholarly. Hmm. There was a way to pull up scholarly articles with Google. Like this is things change so much that you basically can't even find things the way you used to. They keep updating stuff. I'm a programmer. I'm a former programmer, I guess. I mean, I'm always a programmer. I mean, I've never stopped being a programmer, I guess. So originally, that's what I did before I got the degree in the health industry, learning about the human body and thinking that, hey, people will overlook my felonious background of just the trees and sugar or whatever, and I'll be able to get the exoneration from the First Offenders Act, which never happened. I'm still going to combat that. And my life will be moving in the right path. And that's what I did. I was positive. I'm like, I'm going to just make it. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it, And then it's just like, then they came after me again. And it's like, okay, now I see what God's plan is for myself. Because I'm going to tell you guys, like, I mean, it was like, this is all meant to happen. I mean, I found it's like God was trying to warn me. There was like 8 meteorites that I found um, that were in close proximity to Heather's doorstep. Like right when you opened the door, I noticed them, and I was like, "What in the world?" Because I don't know what drew me to them, but I noticed them, and I picked them up. And one of them, oh, I know what it was, because one of them was actually on the doorstep. It was actually actually touching it. It's so crazy. Did it bounce up after it hit the ground? That was really cool. So I grabbed them. And I remember you guys. Some of you guys are my friends. You guys saw this, and I posted them on Facebook. And so the cops come in there and take those meteorites. They took all of them. They took all 8 of them, and there was about 8 officers. And I had basically had cried out to God, not like it was like a day or 2 days before, just really, I mean, literally, because I mean, just in a situation where nothing, you can't do anything. Whenever, I mean, these people are just trying to crush me, and so then this happened, and I'm just gonna use this to all of our advantages. I'm trying to get back on topic. I just really wanted to kind of tell you, but what do I need to type in scholarly articles now? Yeah, scholarly articles, false imprisonment, or wrongful imprisonment, or just Georgia. I need to type in Georgia, wrongful imprisonment, right? Let's be real specific. And that's what's funny is I was talking about how I knew how to type in some of my other videos. I mean, I could be totally roasted so bad, so hardcore with some of these videos because coming out, it's not easy just being in public live and presenting yourself. I have taken public speaking classes before, or at least one class, and I've done it many times. But it's still a challenge. There we go, scholarly articles. So I click on that, and it's talking about there's a wrongful conviction. Okay, so now that we're on this, all right. So now, what I want to do is, or calculator. It's I'm probably typing in way too much. Let's do this now. Now that we're on this page. I'm trying to basically look at these scholarly articles just to kind of try to see, um, find the cost of freedom. The state of wrongful conviction compensation statutes across the country, and the strange legal odyssey, 2012. See, and that's going to hurt because if this is written in 2012, think about this. I mean, this may be. Should compensation be assignable? Oh, and you know, we saw that case, was it just yesterday, of the $2 million that was suggested? It wasn't, maybe, I'm sorry, it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before, but it was suggested that the guy um, in Georgia who was sued, I'll just, instead of just talking about like that, I'm just going to say it. We'll type this up again. And it was Atlanta. This is a man on crystal meth kills 12 neighbors thinking they're zombies. False. Okay. What in the world? Snopes is full of garbage. Um, so basically, what I'm trying to point out is that his attorney was trying to get $2 million right here. Or, well, it's not his attorney. It was actually a representative. See, State Rep Carolyn Hewley, or Hugley, I'm sorry, um, a Democrat from Columbus, tried for 2 years to get compensation for war. She initially sought $2 million. I thought that was reasonable considering all he went through. See? She thought it was reasonable, see? But, but, as Hugley said, she was told to come up with an amount that lawmakers would find more reasonable. Lawmakers would find more. Now, she would like to see Georgia adopt a formula for compensating exonerees. It'd be the right thing to do. Yeah, you're damn right it would be. It is. It is the right thing to do. And there is a way to do this. So whenever I go in the court and whenever my jury sees my case, what we're going to bring up is, like I said, I'm going to try 50 different. I'll go through A, B, C, D, E, E. I'm just D, E, F, G, whatever. I'll go through the whole thing. We'll go to Alaska. Alaska, false imprisonment. Let's find out. Let's do settlement now. Because you always got to figure out, is it a settlement? And you might not find, whoa, recently. What? Okay. Let's see. It says the same year, a similar case was settled. That's Illinois. 9 million. 9 million. But this is 4 years. Served 4 years. This guy. 11 years. Holy. Help is just one click away. Well, see, I got all these places to call and to choose from, but you got to find somebody who can practice law in the state of Georgia as well. So, see, 4.1 million. This is 2010. So there's a lot to factor. This is not just, I'm making this seem like this is all based on just these cases. This is not even it. Whenever you figure this stuff, you can figure just as they did with this guy, this poor guy, Ward. You can figure just the way they did with him. See, they try to say, well, he was, you know, U.S. Marine Corps. And at the time, he was only 18. You know, it's just, I know we've talked about this before, but all right. So I just wanted to say that the way that they're figuring this is based on like how many hours would you make, or how much money would you make during the period of time you're incarcerated, for one thing. But then there's a level of interest involved associated with the economy. So there's a fluctuating economy. So you have to look at that as well. Um, and I wanted to say, if you did click on my page, obviously I'm pointing out here the similarities. You guys can see all of these. Look at the similarities. And then when it says book now, it's a little deceiving. It's that takes you to Presto, the doctor, to go there first, which is step one. Step one of, and if you just go to my photos and you click on, I've basically updated to where both of these have it now, but this is some of the CanaSense stuff. But if you click on here, you see this right here. Step one, step two. Boom. Presto Doctor, step one. You're talking a doctor's visit. It's called telemedical now. So it's not going anywhere. It's for patients who can't sit there and wait in a waiting room all day, and they can't afford to basically do that with their health. So um, it's not going anywhere. It's perfect for people now, so they don't have to get off um, into a scary environment and different factors involved with their health. So basically, that's cheaper. It's like $67 if I'm not mistaken. But when you go there, you basically pay way less than what you would pay for a doctor's visit in person. So just know that. And these are real medical doctors here. This is not a game. Then you come here and you will go, and when you go here, don't be scared about anything. If you have any list of ailments or symptoms that you think that possibly cannabis could help you with, go there and get your card. Go ahead and get it, and then go here, which is over here. I've already got it clicked up, but this is where you will become a patient. So you just become a patient. You've already got, when you click on learn more, it'll tell you how is it legal, and we go into the you got the Affordable Care Act and so forth. It goes into the whole thing. It goes into, here we go, the costs, $65.79 for the appointment. Membership fee, if you want to contribute and you want to be a member, you can do this and you will get discounts, and you can become a caregiver as well. So if you know somebody, uh, you basically can become a caregiver. So, and if you have the I'm sorry, what is it called? Power of attorney. So you got vaporizing, and you got smoking, and you've got the edibles, and the way it even goes into how everything goes on here. This is really cool. They've updated, it seems like, some of this stuff. I like this. Know your medicine. So you can see like a cannabinoid guide here. Teas. And you got different stuff too. This is not just boom, just because you have cannabis, you're going to go flying off into space somewhere and you're gone and you're just lost. No, they've got different extracts. So you've got the CBD and you've got the THC. And you see, you got here, it tells you right here, like what goes on in this process. De- Decarboxyl, decarboxylation, I'm sorry. Um, and it just gets into this. But then once you become a member, then you will be able to go shopping. But you can't really go shopping right now. I mean, there was a way you could look at the apothecary before, but I will. And you become a member. You got a member agreement. So when you become a member in your team and all this, everybody that's associated with this, you have to sign this agreement. We're not dealing with a bunch of kids, or there's not a bunch of like infiltrators or anything like that, because they can't. You're not going to get by. It's not going to hold any water at all from whatever you try to do to anybody that's a patient. So that's just that. I just wanted to give you guys a little live update, and so you can see that we're live streaming there. I'm going to go ahead and close that. So I just feel like I just wanted to tonight. I'm going to go ahead and cut it short. I always say that, and it's never short. However, um, I wanted to just go over more of the calculations. We're going to get in more in depth with this. I'll keep digging and digging and digging, and we'll come up with as much as we can come up with. But if I have to, um, I'll probably talk to maybe a student, or I'll get the law from wherever I need to. I might have to get online and pay for it. I'll find it. I'll find it, but I want to find a big list of cases. Like I said, these scholarly articles are a great way to do this, um, as well. So, I might have to go forward because I did that, but I was looking for Alaska. So, that's how you can do it. You can see that you'll find things, and see, Alaska-based company pays more than that to settle for things. You'll just find different things on Google and through search engines, but there's false imprisonment cases. For 2015. Sells for 200,000 here. So, I mean, a law student gets 15,000. So it does help. If you get a whole bunch of stuff from Georgia, obviously I'll focus on everything in Georgia. Even if I did that, I want to show you guys too. Felon wins settlement. I think that's what it was. I don't know what the he won 3-time ex-con wins 31 million. Oh, what's that? What's that one I was looking up though? It was a felon. It was like felon false imprisonment. Why is it trying to not know how to spell felon? Yeah, right here. Wait, is this it? No, that's not it. That's not it. It's this guy. I'm gonna type in inmate or something. I'm sorry, you guys, that I just kind of get on these tangents. It just seems like every time I try to think of something, it's always like the hardest freaking thing in the world to find, no matter what I'm trying to talk about. Georgia jail. Look at this. Pays almost $1 million in a wrongful death settlement. See, this is the kind of stuff that you want to avoid. You're not going to have 630 people in there. You're going to have more chances of that right there. How many things do you think you can do with that much money? How many potholes can you fix and all this stuff? I think roads, roads. Like, what are you what are you guys thinking is going to happen by having people complaining about inhumane treatment in jails? And somebody just died. Somebody just died. We got all this stuff going on in Lowndes County. I mean, no wonder my case is just brushed under. I'm going to have to just physically go there and just like have a bullhorn and just blast and say, where in the hell is my case? Or I'm going to start calling more of uh, the state's attorneys. I'm going to start calling out of this jurisdiction of Lowndes County. We're going to go above your heads. I'm going to go above the FBI and in Georgia. We're just going to get out of Georgia altogether. I'll just go straight onto the Department of Justice, so we can just go ahead and get on with this. Because I know what you guys are doing. You guys are just playing games. You think this is all a game. You've been caught red-handed. I'm calling you out, and I've already pointed out to the entire world what happened. Inmate's family here. But just get an idea. Look at this. I mean, you just see what kinds of money of settlements are being paid out in these cases. I just really wanted to show you that one though. It was let's see, because it was in Georgia. I want to say it was 600,000, but that wasn't that Page Pate guy. I don't believe, was it? I mean, I don't know if it's felon settlement, felon. It's felon search. Oh, yeah, I got. I forgot. You got to type in false or wrongful. That, from what I understand, was it this? I'm gonna just leave this Fulton County. So we're just kind of reading. That's like nothing. Okay. College student. This is that one. There's one where there was like two murderers. I think this might be. And the guy was just with him, and he was incarcerated for 99 days. See, this is in Georgia now. See, this is how you figure stuff out too, because this guy, Chattahoochee Hills, agreed to pay 600,000 to a young man who was falsely arrested by city police and incarcerated for 99 days on charges of involvement in a shooting and child abuse. The young man sued the city, raising claims of false arrest, malicious prosecution, and negligent hiring of police officers. The city council acknowledged that the city's police chief, and I can claim that all day. The city council acknowledged that the city's police chief and detectives had been in the wrong and voted to authorize the payment made through the city's insurer. See, that's how you get paid. You got a city insurer, so basically you'll see increments of that number right there. I've seen 1.2, I've seen 6, I've seen like 750. So I see these, you know, numbers that are in certain increments that it makes me think of an insurance company. They missed a zero there, but although the settlement does not affect the police chief or officers responsible for Johnson's or false arrest, all of them have since left the city police force. In the year following the arrest, the ordeal, Johnson enrolled in college. And how his name is Johnson. What are we, Attack of the Johnsons, where he has had an excellent academic record studying business administration. I would love to have an excellent. I did have an excellent academic record. I have references. You can ask all of my teachers at Wiregrass, and um, I loved doing stuff. I mean, I love doing the medical stuff, and the knowledge was there. I mean, I was going to move up higher. Obviously, I was talking about I didn't want to just sit there in artificial light all day, but I would venture down the nutritionist alley if I were to go anything in the health field now. But yeah, so you can see in Georgia, and that's obviously the main thing. You're going to want to type in Georgia, and you're going to figure it out right there. Um, so you got here wrongful arrest. It was an inmate though. Why can't I not find these freaking things? They just, if it's not mainstream media, inmate's family, wrongful death, no. Wrongful death. See, you got to die in Georgia to get anything. Look at this. You got to get killed. And I'm telling you, it's not like this in every other state. Georgia is lacking in compensation. Remember that article? 12.3 million for 31 years. Oh my God. Oh, $25 million, 20 years. See, this is not, it's all about your attorneys too. It's about how you guys present everything. What I'm going to do is going to present in the manner of and I have seen lawsuits like this before, and they're ruled on a case by case basis of how much money that you would have made. How much money do you think that maybe I could have made with a bachelor's degree by now? I mean, I've been stunted my entire freaking life from 18 years old, and you're going to say this man he was 18 years old and he was in the Marine Corps, and all that he deserves is just to get that because that's all that was ever going to do. That's all he ever was going to do was just be like an uh, I don't know how they figured that. I mean, obviously they gave him a little bit more too, but there needs to be punitive damages in malice, like whenever there's malice. But I definitely have malice, so you're getting that for that case alone, just for that case alone. So what I would suggest is that I need to talk to the whoever's going to settle the lawsuits because you already know you're not going to win. I'm gonna start calling you guys more. Obviously, it's a weekend now, so I'm gonna start picking up and calling different officials. They won't even let you talk to you. Let people talk to you um, if you're involved with the case. I'm sorry, it comes out wrong. They will not let myself or a defendant or suspect, I guess, in a case, talk to certain people within the court because they claim that it's a conflict of interest to be able to go and physically talk to somebody to tell them what the hell happened to you and tell them what officer did what and make action immediately. You don't get action done immediately. I've heard of cases. I'm gonna tell you. Tell me if I'm wrong. I call you out again, Ashley Polk. I've heard of cases where you have actually made it arranged to where inmates have been released immediately. So see, why can't you do that for every other thing now? You know, I know you just got into office not too long ago, but you've had plenty of time. I told you what I do my first freaking week. I'm not playing games. You're gonna have to get out of the way. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm adding up all of this stuff uh, to the T, and it's gonna be the false imprisonment and punitive damages. Punitive damages. Let me tell you about that. You only get that with the malice now. You don't always get punitive damage for everything. So that's why that guy he couldn't get punitive damages for 400,000. He only got 400,000. That's not indicative of punitive damages at all. Punitive damages is big time no. So what are punitive damages and how are they awarded? They're not meant to give you back something you lost. So you get compensation, but they're not meant to give you back something you lost. What they're meant to do is to punish the defendant, which in this case is going to be the Lowndes County Sheriff's Office. I mean, just Lowndes County. It's going to be just Lowndes County because who's paying for it? So Lowndes County. It's not just the sheriff's office. I know, like they like to say that you're suing the sheriff's office and all this stuff. Then they get real particular about who you're suing and oh, you can't sue. We have qualified immunity. They all say that. They walk around saying we have qualified immunity. We can do whatever we want to. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay, whatever. You do not have qualified immunity, you scum. And matter of fact, a lot of you are accomplices in crimes. You are a part of this. You sit back and watch somebody commit felonies. You're a part of every bit of that. You sit back and watch this guy put his hand in front of Heather. What are you guys doing enforcing the law when you don't even know the law? If you don't know the law, you damn sure don't have the right to go around stomping all over it like like you don't care about it. Um, but let's get back. They're not meant to give you back something. They're meant to punish. See, society as a whole also learns that this type of conduct will not be accepted through publication of punitive damage awards. See, that's what you do. Even though punitive damage awards are meant to punish the defendant and benefit society, not the plaintiff, punitive damages awards are paid to the plaintiff in the case. These awards have been characterized as a windfall for plaintiffs because they put the plaintiff in a much better position financially than they were before the accident. Not surprisingly, punitive damages awards are controversial and vary from state to state. Some states allow juries to award punitive damages in any amount that they feel appropriate. Watch this. Punitive damages is synonymous with the terms vindictive damages, exemplary damages, and other descriptions. May be awarded only in such tort actions in which it is proven by clear and convincing evidence that the defendant's actions showed willful misconduct, malice, sorry, fraud, wantonness, oppression, or that entire want of care which would raise the presumption of conscious indifference to consequences. Punitive damages shall be awarded not as compensation to a plaintiff, but solely to punish, penalize, and or deter a defendant. An award of punitive damages must be specifically prayed for in a complaint. In any case in which punitive damages are claimed, the trier of the fact shall first resolve from the evidence produced at trial whether an award of punitive damages shall be made. This finding shall be made specifically through an appropriate form of verdict along with the other required findings. If it is found that the punitive damages are to be awarded, the trier of the trial shall immediately be recommenced in order to receive such evidence as is relevant to a decision regarding what amount of damages will be sufficient to deter, penalize, or punish the defendant in light of circumstances of the case. It shall be then the duty of the trier of the fact to set the amount to be awarded according to subsection E, F, or G of this code. Okay, so let's look at E, F, or G. In a tort case in which the cause of action arises from product liability, we got product liability, 75% of any amounts awarded under this subsection. We got 2, E, 1, 2. And so less proportionate part of the cost of litigation, attorney's fees shall be paid into the treasury of the state through the office of the state treasurer. Upon issuance of judgment in such case, the state shall have all rights due a judgment creditor until judgment is satisfied, and shall stand on equal footing with the plaintiff in the original case in securing a recovery after payment to the plaintiff of damages awarded other than as punitive damages. A judgment debtor may remit the state's proportional share of punitive damages to the clerk of court in which a judgment was rendered. It shall be the duty of the clerk to pay over such amounts to the office of the state treasurer within 60 days of the receipt of the judgment debtor. This paragraph shall not be construed as making the state party at interest, and the sole right of the state is to the proceeds as provided in this paragraph. This does not arise from product liability. Defendant acted or failed to act with the specific intent to cause harm. The act or failed to act while under the influence of alcohol and drugs. Intentionally consume glue or aerosol or vapor to the degree that his or her judgment is substantially impaired. There shall be no limitation regarding the amount which may be awarded as punitive damages against an active tortfeasor, but such damages shall not be the liability of any defendant other than that of an active tortfeasor. So, I mean, I don't really know. I do not know every single term here, so I don't know if I'll be able to. What I'll do here is you want to search that with Google. Let's see if it says something. A person who commits a tort. Okay, so we know. So, tort dash feasor. Okay. And you got here, for any tort action not provided for by subsection E or F of this code, then it says the amount to which may be awarded in the case shall be limited to a maximum of $250,000. So if you don't go E and F, so let's see if we fit E and F. E and F means that specific intent to cause harm. You acted or failed to act. And we got that. When Pachotti mentioned that first lie, he's trying to make up some crap about the Valdosta Police Department, fictitious person, the Riddler, who supposedly witnessed all this stuff, and that's his probable cause, oath or affirmation. That right there should have his ass in prison. In prison. Yeah, so you want to send me to freaking prison? You told my parents I was going to go to prison. I mean, I'm not going to get off into this ranting stuff again. I'm sorry. But you seriously did told my parents I was going to go to prison and all this stuff. You try to scare my parents. I'm so glad that now that they are up to speed with what really happened, because they were for so long, you know, wanting to believe in law enforcement. So you got the act or fail to act, and so we got back at E. It says does it fall in E? We know it does fall in um, here. 75% of any amounts awarded under this. So it just kind of describes how that it's going to be distributed. Okay. Um, but yeah, but you see how they try to limit that? Look at that. They try to limit it for any tort action not provided for by E or F. So it would have to be E or F. So we would have to go, since E involves right here product liability. Okay. And then you've got here in the F. So this is it. So this is it right here. Did Pachotti act? And did everybody around Pachotti, did they act or fail to act with specific intent to harm me? You damn right they did. It's all freaking all day, every day. There is no limit to what I can sue you for. Do you see that? Do you see that? I told you it was a blank check, and I'm telling you. I told you yesterday, and there it is. So I'm just gonna. We'll just keep going. I'm trying to prove a point here with hopefully some people that make it this far. I'm streaming so long right now that it's just not going to be watched by probably anybody, right? But hopefully that people will. I don't care if there's 6 people that follow me that got something out of this. I would be so happy, or 1. I don't care, because this is valuable information. You can't get this kind of information while you're sitting in the jail. I am so happy to be able to do this. I'm very my life, it was like a new beginning whenever I got out. It was just, you don't take things for granted as much anymore. You don't. So, whenever you go through stuff like this. So, you guys take it easy. I'm going to cut it short now, like I always say. And check out this song. It's really cool. Leave it with this. And just try to stay happy, y'all. This is going good. We got God, on our side. There's nothing that these people can do against us. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. All right.